Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that's a little sick and tired of this musical about Alexander Hamilton. You know what I'm talking about. Why don't we have a musical about John Quincy Adams? I'm John Quincy Adams and I've traveled far. I'm John Quincy Adams and I passed the bar. My father said those qualities you lack, son. And then I lost re-election to Andrew Jackson. Speaking of history, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at a game that takes us all the way back to the classical era of ancient Rome. And it is a penetrating account of Rome's military machine. I am, of course, talking about Cohort from Mage Company. The Cohort from Mage Company sees 2 to 6 players attempt to draw cards, share cards, play cards in this quest for set collection. But it's not an ordinary game of set collection at all. Now, at the beginning of the game, ladies and gentlemen, you have no cards at all. Rather, on your turn, what you do is you draw 2 cards, you see which one you want to keep, and then you choose which other player you're going to give the other card to. Now, the cards are based on Roman military formations. You have equites, the horsemen. You have praetorians, the elite troops. You have centurions. You have all sorts of different characters here, different military units here. In the corner of each, there is a number, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to kind of tell you how rare they are, but it's also going to tell you how many of those you need to form a set or a cohort. Now, like I say, on your turn, you pick 2 cards, you get one you want to keep, you give one to somebody else. Now, at that point, you can choose, do I want to play this card to begin collecting that set? You can do that. You can go ahead and you can put it down, or you can just hang on to it, wait till later. Because you can only play 1 card per turn, and as soon as you lay that card down, something bad is going to happen. Because each of these different military units have problems associated with them, things that are going to handicap you. For instance, one of the cards makes it so you can't take cards from other players. No other player can give you a card. Some of the cards say, if you're collecting that set, you have to show your cards to the other players so they can see what you need and what you've got. Some of the cards make you draw a card from the discard pile as well as the draw deck. Some of the cards don't let you choose which card you're going to give away. It's just random. So there's all sorts of different things that happen here when you start creating your set here. So this is very interesting. You're going and you're trying to create these sets, but every time you're doing that, you're being handicapped. And if you're trying to collect 3 different sets at the same time, you're really screwed. And here's what happened. As soon as you get that number up in the corner, as soon as you get that number of cards in the set, you can take it, flip it over, that's your cohort. And those problems don't plague you anymore. But now you got to work on different cohorts. And as you're doing that, you're being plagued by these problems. But the first player to get 3 cohorts wins the cohort. This is a very, very light card game. It's a very light card game because really it's set collection. All it is set collection. But what makes this really unique and really interesting is those handicaps and being punished for collecting the sets. It's very, very interesting. Now, there's a lot of luck in this game with the draw. What am I drawing? What's coming up? But at the same time, you do have a little bit of strategic choice. Who you're going to give those cards to. You're looking to see, well, does he need this card? Does he need this card? I better give it to this guy. So there's some of that in here. But there's also a little bit of strategy in what handicap do I think I can work with, and what handicap should I try to avoid? And it's like I say, not heavy on strategy, but there's a little bit of choice in here, and I like that. This game's a pretty quick game, 20-30 minutes tops, and it's a whole lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed the Cohort. I've reviewed a few games from Mage Company so far, and I got to tell you, so far, this is my favorite game that they've done. I really enjoyed the Cohort. It's a whole lot of fun. The recommendation for the Discriminating Gamer for a Cohort is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and he's John Quincy Adams, and he's coming for you, no matter if you're Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I don't know. Is that offensive? I don't know. I can't tell anymore.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Your dice are all hexagonal.